People are dying. People have been and still are dying due to this pandemic. Did you know that? Or are you busy using your extreme privilege to treat this pandemic like it's over? You're going wild outside and having fun with your friends. During the recent holidays, social distancing was thrown under the rug. That explains why we experienced a COVID surge for the first month of 2022. I mean, what a great way to welcome this new year, right? Plus, if I am not mistaken, we were stricken by a fever trend immediately after celebrating Christmas and New Year. The people have gone wild looking for paracetamols from pharmacies to pharmacies. And I get why sudden alarming events like this happen. COVID surge and fever trend. You know why? It's because we Filipinos love the holidays so much. In fact, it begins on the first day of Burr months. We are fond of attending family reunions, mingling with our besties, and even caroling from neighbors to neighbors. Then, it doesn't stop there. It was mandated that kids are now allowed to dine in and go to parks and malls, which is fantastic news because after 2 years, they can now go outside and eat their favorite Happy Meals. However, all this with the exception of having a vaccinated guardian, a fully vaccinated one. That is why anywhere you go, you see children ages 5 to 11 or even below 5 that are tagging along with their parents. And actually, how shocking this may seem, there are babies, month-old babies held by their mothers, putting them at a very high risk of catching the virus. You see, this has been bothering me for the past few weeks. This is the problem with the narrative going around. We seem to forget that this pandemic is not yet over. That as a society, we have come to a point where we are all collectively ignoring the COVID-19 virus. Those kinds of overflowing mentalities such as, I am fully vaccinated, I can get by. I always bring alcohol with me, I know I can get by. My children wear a mask whenever we go to Jollibee. They can absolutely get by. Well, not to burst your bubbles, but it is a supreme position of privilege to be treating this pandemic like it is essentially over. Just think about it. You may not be at high risk. Your family or loved ones may not be at high risk. But the fact remains that there are millions of people dying worldwide due to this virus, that there are people who are immunocompromised, have underlying health conditions, are disabled, and are marginalized in some way, all of which have a high risk of acquiring the virus. And for them, this pandemic is most definitely not over. Besides, let us not even begin with the frontline healthcare employees who are working tirelessly 24/7 aiding those people that have been mentioned. You know, last month, there was someone, I prefer not to say her name, who escaped her hotel quarantine to party and would later test positive for COVID-19. It is saddening and disappointing, for it was really a selfish act. She behaved recklessly and ran away only because she wanted to party. She did not consider the people with whom she interacted within that party, and unfortunately, it has caused a rapid increase in COVID cases here in our country. It is just a shame because the government is doing its part already. That they are getting better and better with their COVID-19 responses. They are providing a 10-day hotel quarantine for outside travelers and offering vaccines for teenagers. Also, currently, vaccination is being held for ages 5 to 11. This is what we wanted, right? This is what we have been complaining about in social media. And now that they are accomplishing it, we as citizens are misbehaving. We as citizens are not following. We are getting caught up in the idea of, I am fully vaccinated, I can never have COVID anymore. Sadly, I hate to break it to you, but the girl that I have mentioned earlier was fully vaccinated, and yet she tested positive for COVID-19, infecting others at the party. In most cases, we are this girl. And I'm not even excluding myself. Even children, teenagers, adults, people of all ages are failing to recognize the real purpose of vaccination. It is not your gate pass to have fun, go outside, and go to malls and amusement parks. It is rather your fair share of being a responsible citizen who is preventing the spread of the virus and helping to reduce the number of cases of being infected. Remember, as you are busy partying, someone, somewhere is actually dying. Again, people are dying. People have been and still are dying due to this pandemic. Thank you.